Hello, hello. Making a video about modern art. And I woke up today thinking about the comments people have made about their Christian religion, not about it, but immersed in the mindset of the Christian religion. If they would talk about it, would be a whole lot more liberating, but they talk within it. Not seeing what's outside of that football stadium. And it is extremely shocking to me how people can be so entangled in that and in so much fear of their God, like the Incas and Mayas who threw their children into the volcanoes. And it's just shocking to me to see that people are so frightened and so locked up within, so unfree, and such slaves to that religion. It's amazing. Same with the Muslim religion, and same with all of these religions that are based on fear. And there are some Indian religions based on fear, and certainly the South American religions, like long time ago, I don't know, 100,000 years ago, when they sacrificed their children, they must have been living in such mind lock and such terror of their gods, of the rain gods and the gods of fertility and whatever gods they had, who they were afraid of, and they felt helpless, and they felt like they needed to appease the gods. But I don't understand why people always fall into this trap of thinking that there is a God out there that would punish them unless they sacrifice themselves or others or something. So why do they always think that they have to enslave themselves and sacrifice themselves or other beings for these gods? So why can't they create gods that are positive and kind? Why always negative and hostile and terrorizing? So that's my question. Why do people paint this picture of the Christian God as this angry father figure, this dysfunctional daddy with the undershirt who whips people with his belt or something? And that's kind of like, and that's how I think a lot of people grow up. And so then they automatically conclude that their Christian God must be like that father figure. It's like almost like a subconscious mechanism that leads them to believe that. So it has to do with the way people were surrounded, with the people they were surrounded when they were growing up as children, and with the people that were supposed to be their caregivers, the parents, the protectors, but instead they were making their children feel unsafe. And when a child is unsafe, that's what Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about, then they cannot unfold themselves. They cannot become who they really are. They cannot unfold their highest potentials. And I think each person has phenomenal potentials. Dogs, wolves, all beings, all brains on earth have a very limitless potential if there is no fear. So when there's no fear, you tap right into the infinite, and the infinite can actually channel through you. So it's quite amazing, and I've seen it over and over again, you know, in people who are, when they meditate, the kind of potential that they can tap into, the power they tap into. And it's a power that doesn't exploit. It's a power that only gives and only loves, and that's true love. And that's what Elita Andre, the artist, the reincarnation of Jackson Pollock, a little girl, 9 years old, and she's 1 year older than, or she's eight or 9. She's 1 year older than my brother's daughter, and she is half a year or something older than Kenny. And Elita Andre, that's a real phenomenon, and that's an angel and a light being. And I want people to, maybe I'll put a link under the video about her. And I wrote a poem for her. I don't know if I can find this right now, but I will maybe put the poem under the video as well. She made a sculpture called the Silver Unicorn, and it's a beautiful sculpture of a unicorn, very elegant looking, and she calls the unicorn the Oracle of Space. And what I see in this is, when she was Jackson Pollock, the things that have surrounded him his entire life, this closed-mindedness and the religiousness and all of this. He grew up in the United States, somewhere in the Midwest, I believe, and surrounded by all these completely closed-up people. And that was like in the early 20s and 30s. They were even more closed-minded then, and even less influences from Buddhism or Hinduism had permeated into this culture, and people were living like in an enclave of mental mind block. And can you imagine a person like Jackson Pollock, a soul like that, trapped in a society of so much stagnation? I want to cut the video off and make part 2, because the power or the internet server cuts off, sometimes only for a second, and then the video is gone. So I'll make another one.